Hello, and welcome to this second lecture of prototype development section in which we're going to talk about determining CTQs. I'm Arun Singhal, your management coach and mentor with 40 years of experience in people development. So, as we've been doing, the purpose of this section is to give you some good understanding of prototype development process. We took a look at the overall prototype development process in the last lecture, and in this we will try and understand as a part of how to determine CTQs or what are CTQs, right? So, what do you think? How can we determine CTQs? And as we said before that, let's talk about what are CTQs before we talk about how to determine CTQs, right? So, what do you think are CTQs? Any thoughts? Okay. So CTQ is the process output characteristic that is made by measurables. In our product development, prototype development, we always start with the voice of customer. What are the customer's problem? What are the issues that we are facing? And as you see here, in this example of voice of customer that we will translate into CTQ, the voice of customer is why am I always guessing when I will receive my order and deliveries from your company? So that's the problem the customer is facing, and that's the voice of the customer. And the specific need is that the point is that he or she is trying to make is that it takes too long to get your orders. So if we define CTQ from there, it would we would like to do is to put a measurable output characteristics of the timely deliveries, and that could read something like consistent delivery against the agreement with the customer. That could be the output characteristic, and then you define the output measure in terms of an output measurement which could be variation between the customer requested time and actual date in days, and then we can say a target 0 and specified tolerance of plus minus 2 days. So that all four things put together forms the CTQ. So it is a measurement of the process output of providing delivery to customers on time and measures the variation as an output with the target of 0 and tolerance of plus minus 2 days. So you get an idea of what is in a CTQ, right? So how does this CTQ connect to winning concept? We talked about that starting with winning concept is has a great advantage. So has it got anything to do with the winning concept? Because winning concept also we are talking about the customer problems, the core benefit, reason to believe, etc., etc. Right? So are there something overlapping there? Are there similar things that we're talking about? And as you see, the CTQ process measurable, the first statement, why am I always guessing when I will receive my order and delivery from your company, which is the voice of customer, is actually the core problem. That's the problem the customer is facing and expressing in his or her own word. And the consistent delivery, the output characteristic, the consistent delivery against the agreement with the customer is the core benefit that we are providing. And the CTQ goes a little longer way in terms of defining this core characteristics with a very clear measurement of variation between the customer requested date and the actual delivery date in days, sets a target of 0 and provides a tolerance of plus minus 2 days. So CTQ actually takes forward the core benefit that we talked about by quantifying, by putting a measurements of this place, and that's what we start getting to inside the company system to deliver that service. So there has to be a measurement, there has to be target, and there has to be tolerance limits so that you can provide that core benefit to solve the customer problem of keeping the customer guessing against receiving the order and being unsure of when will the deliveries come, right? So what do we do in the next module? So in the next module, having understood in this say lecture what are the CTQs, which is we said is it's a form taken forward from the core benefit and a core problem. Define the core benefit in terms of a measurement, in terms of a target, and in terms of a tolerances. We will start looking at how do we determine the CTQs, and that will be a few lectures, and we will go in each lecture a few steps for you to take a look at that and move forward, right? So thank you so much for watching this second lecture where we talk to you about what are CTQs as a part of determining CTQs, and I am sure you will continue to learn something new, continue to like these lectures, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next lecture.